say they be waiting for you in the bushes with the duct tape. Up and down the interstate, yeah, we really touch. We touch. October, I'm about to another state. He went down in Arizona, don't get me involved. An empty box in the car means they coming for all. I had six phones, I got rid of.
DJ all the way. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, it's an NFC West battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. This is TJ Logan to return it, and he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. Under center, it'll be the former UCLA Bruin, Josh Rosen.
It's easy to see the big-time arm. It's also easy to see the pinpoint accuracy and delivery. But how about his footwork as well? An amateur tennis player, that honed what he can do in the pocket, his ability to slide and move away from pressure and be able to find receivers open downfield.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
The first carry down. This is Johnson. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now let's go. Green.
On second down, here's Rosen. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago, 5 catches, 66 yards.
And what we just saw there was exactly what they need against this defense. Big plays. They were able to pick up a first down on that one.
Set. 3-19.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On second down, Johnson. Powerful running. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Johnson on the counter. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Johnson, and he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
3-19.
And they'll throw it with Rosen. Harris has it over the middle. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they could look at positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And while he was at Eastern Illinois, he broke Tony Romo's school records for career passing yards and touchdowns before initially joining the league as the backup to Tom Brady as a second-round pick.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. They go play action here on first down. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the play. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already.
11.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Black 80! 180!
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On third and long, it's Garoppolo. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15.
Let's go! 319!
Play action here with Rosen. That's caught over the middle by Seals-Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. Getting the sense Charles are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on.
Here we go.
I think he likes natural light best.
Now Rosen to throw on second down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Here we go now. Boom!
Now Rosen. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
On second down, Rosen, and that is incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And he finds Seals-Jones complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Now Johnson. Yeah, nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the corner.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
From the gun, it's Rosen. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Ricky Seals-Jones, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They run it with McKinnon. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Over the middle to Garcon. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing now is Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
11.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Play action, Garoppolo. And he checks this one down to Williams. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A gain of 11 and a 1st down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. Eluding the pressure right. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So it should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option. Taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. The wrist seems fine. The legs were never a problem as DJ's in the backfield again on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Shreds the tackle. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
All right, here we go.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Rosen. Able to find Harris, complete. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Now let's go.
Now Rosen looking to throw. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard.
Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And out of bounds right around the 20. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Harris. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Rosen will throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Ricky Seals-Jones with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Off the play fake, here's Rosen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kwan Williams. And into the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead? Not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion, probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now, probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals Jones.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Here's Rosen finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a 3-yard gain. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Rosen to throw again. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. This quarterback now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's first down.
Here we go now. 319. 319.
Again, it's Rosen. Over the middle, complete. It's Nelson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
21, 11, 13. 12.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First catch so far for Tate, and he's got a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And yet again, it's Garoppolo over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
He'll get it up the middle. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a third down.
Wow, that ball was knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the choke. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers are back within a score. And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Gun!
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And now it's Rosen looking, and that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. So the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, look, credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Jeremiah Tauchu in there to drop it for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
A gain of 32 that time.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
By 20! By 20!
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. They'll try and power it in with Juszczyk. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Kyle Juszczyk first check, his first touchdown of the new season. And the 49ers have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like he still harbors some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Over the middle, he gets it to Patterson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Green, 39.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Solomon Thomas coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Open man is Kirk, complete. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Screenplay, Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Rosen under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Manti Te'o coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun, it's Rosen. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football. Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Now McKinnon. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Once more with McKinnon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead.
11.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He finds McKinnon, complete. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. McKinnon. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13.
11.
Well, Garoppolo's going to throw it. His throw incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
Now Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
Now the
first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go into the lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Well, Brandon, they're getting to 2-0, and this time they're able to take a knee at the end and secure the victory.
Preseason, coach said their goal, they obviously want to win everything. He said, I think we can get off to a 3-0 start. Well, here they are, looking at 2-0 right now. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he's on to punt for San Francisco. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the 49ers, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.